Things got testy in court yesterday as Rudy Giuliani was held in contempt after the verdict that he defamed 2 election workers in Georgia. These people think the law should apply to everyone else, but not to them. Rules for thee, but not for me. As Rudy Giuliani attempts to subvert the verdict, to try to not give what is owed to them after a jury and a judge laid down a sentence found it to be true. Here is the headlines from the New York Times. Giuliani is held in contempt of court in defamation case. Rudolph W. Giuliani, the former mayor of New York City, has failed to turn over his assets to the 2 Georgia poll workers who won a defamation lawsuit against him. What's funny about this is, remember when Donald Trump said, we're going to open up the libel laws, whatever that means. I don't think he understands it because he's such a dolt. We're going to open up the libel laws so we can sue people and make a lot of money, he said. Well, apparently that was only for him and his cohort, because when someone actually adjudicates defamation, they don't pay. In fact, he absconded to Florida, bought a place in Florida, and is acting like that's his primary residence, even though it's been New York his entire life, still is New York. He's always there, and he's trying to convince the judge of this. And things did get testy. The judge was annoyed. Rudy Giuliani's interjecting, shutting up his lawyers so he could speak. At one point, the judge is like, hey, listen, dude. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. I need you to be a witness. I don't need you to act like you're a lawyer here. You're the defendant. You need to act like a witness, not like you are a lawyer. I'm going to read a little bit from this New York Times article, and we'll stop and start as we go talk about it. A federal judge on Monday held Rudolph Giuliani in contempt of court for failing to cooperate in the handover of $11 million of his personal assets to Georgia poll workers he falsely accused of helping to steal the 2020 presidential election. Mr. Giuliani, 80, how's this guy still alive? Have you seen him lately? It's like what's that character, the bald fish-eating character from the Lord of the Rings, Gollum. He's like a fat Gollum. He's like a human apostrophe, just hunched over. It's remarkable that he's still walking around. Mr. Giuliani, 80, the former mayor of New York City, has so far failed to turn over the bulk of his personal assets as a down payment on the $148 million judgment to the poll workers. Freeman and her daughter Shaye Moss won in a defamation lawsuit. The judge, Louis Lyman of U.S. District Court in Manhattan, has yet to detail what specific sanctions Mr. Giuliani faces, but being held in contempt could possibly hinder the former mayor's attempts to hang on to his Palm Beach, Florida condo, which has been valued at $3.5 million. Mr. Giuliani's assets include a 10-room apartment on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. A 10-room apartment on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. 10 rooms in New York. Have you seen real estate videos on YouTube and elsewhere about how expensive real estate is in New York City? And he's got a 10-room apartment in Manhattan? Wow. A 1980 Mercedes-Benz convertible, a collection of 26 designer watches and rare Yankees collectibles, the most valuable of which might be a signed and framed Joe DiMaggio jersey. And that jersey, parenthetically, the New York Times notes, is missing. He's due back in court. I don't want to go to that. Let's see. The court ruled that Mr. Giuliani obstructed the election workers' attempt to determine Mr. Giuliani's real primary residence, which for years had been the cooperative apartment on East 66th Street in Manhattan. Judge Lyman, who has appeared frustrated at Mr. Giuliani's shifting rationale for the omissions, ruled that his failure to comply will permit the court to draw negative conclusions about his Florida residency status, which could hobble his defense. Quote, the defendant has been attempting to run out the clock, Judge Lyman said, adding that he was unmoved by the former mayor's argument that he was overwhelmed with court requests, including charges in 2 criminal cases and several other civil actions. Quote, the fact that he is a busy person and relied on others is not an excuse, he said. And Rudy Giuliani knows this, having been the former U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York. Do you think Rudy Giuliani, when he was a prosecutor, the lead prosecutor in that office, the U.S. attorney there, that he was like, oh, well, they're busy? Oh, well, just give him more time. Give the criminal suspect more time before we go to trial. We get it. People are busy. They got lives. We never know what struggle someone's going through. I'm sure that's how Rudy Giuliani viewed it when he was a prosecutor, right? Yeah. The contempt charges on Monday pertain specifically to Mr. Giuliani's failure to cooperate with the discovery process related to his condo. He could also be held in contempt for his failure to hand over other valuables, some of which remain tied up in legal limbo. After being grilled on the stand for several hours on Friday, Mr. Giuliani had said he had made progress in obtaining the title to the convertible that he must hand over to the women, but they have yet to receive that title. Mr. Giuliani was allowed to attend the hearing on Monday via video conference after citing health problems. He's pulling the old junior soprano, if you watch The Sopranos, who shows up in like a neck brace, claiming that he's infirmed. This is mafioso bullshit tactics that they're doing that they would not have stood for when they, meaning Rudy Giuliani, when he was a prosecutor again. Here's the other thing, by the way. Is he's turning this, as you would expect, into an absolute shit show, into just a circus, into a cartoon. Listen to the description here from the New York Times of how he appeared on video to the court. Mr. Giuliani was allowed to attend the hearing on Monday via video conference after citing health concerns, blah, blah, blah. He was seated at a desk in a dark blue suit in front of a flat screen monitor projecting a giant American flag. You know, because it scores points when you're a faketriot. Judge Lyman, sounding peeved, asked for the background to be removed. It was one of a number of testy exchanges. Talking over his lawyer, Mr. Giuliani asked if he could reveal what progress he's made on the overdue handover of his property. Quote, I want you to play witness, not lawyer, Judge Lyman interjected. And then Mr. Giuliani did not rejoin the hearing after the lunch recess. These people believe they are above the law. They believe they are above in station you. You must obey courts. You must obey juries. You must obey verdicts, not them. They will skirt the law. They will act above it because they're special. They're Republicans. No need to actually be law and order abiding when you're a Republican. You just say, I'm law and order. You just have a flag behind you and then you're a patriot. You just hug and kiss the flag. That's all you need. You just hold up a Bible after gassing Christians in the street and then you're a Christian. It's all fake. They're phonies. They're hypocrites. They're liars. They're charlatans. They're grifters. And Giuliani, with his pal Trump, are among the absolute worst. I invite you to this conversation. What do you think? You can click below. You can call 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. Both those work great. You can also comment below. We can mix it up there. That'll help the algorithm to share this content with new possible victims, possible subscribers. That would be fantastic. And I would appreciate your help. I'm really close to getting to 900,000 subscribers. Wow. Bananas. If you're not subscribed already, if my content just gets served to you, please hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate it very much. I love and appreciate you. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore everywhere. And I will see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.